Alright, so I'm standing outside of a 2017 Honda Civic Hatchback. This is an EXL with navigation and Honda sensing. First thing you see is the smoked wheels on this car. I will show you this right here. The car does come with a remote start. To use it, you always got to press the lock button first, then the remote start button. It'll run for 20 minutes. If you want to turn it back off before then, press the unlock and the remote start button, it'll crank it off. So just some key issues here real quick. We'll walk up and hop in the car. It's keyless entry, so you put your hand on, it opens up for you automatically. When you get inside the car, I'm going to walk you through a couple features. The first thing I'm going to start you off with is some of the Honda sensing features. You'll notice right over here, the first thing you'll see is the main button. When I press this, you're going to see that ACC and LKAS come up in there. What that stands for is adaptive cruise control, which is going to work from here, and lane keep assist, which is this button right here. This button right here is going to engage the lane keep assist. That uses a camera to detect the lines on the road. You have to be going over 45 for this to engage, so be aware of that. They'll fill in solid when it's reading the road, and that's how it's going to let you know. From there, if you start to veer out of your lane, the steering wheel will naturally correct for you a little bit if you're not using your blinker, assuming that you're starting to veer. If you are, it'll ignore it. You can overpower this, don't worry about it. It's pretty subtle, but just that's how it works. Down here, adaptive cruise control. So once I get up to speed, I would press my set button, set my speed. From there, I can create distance in between me and the car in front of me, and you'll see this is showing the distance it'll create between me. When there's a car in front of you and it's reading it with the radar, you'll see the icon of a car in front of you in that center line that keeps depleting. So just be aware of that. And then obviously all your normal stuff you can cancel, resume, change and minus the speed that you're going at. So be aware of that also. Over here, you'll see a couple buttons. You can turn on and off the road departure mitigation. This is the collision mitigated braking system. So that's part of the Honda sensing features as far as braking the car to prevent you from getting in a wreck. This is going to work with your traction control. This isn't related to Honda sensing, but since I'm over here, I'll explain it. It just means that if you start to lose traction on one of your wheels, it'll transfer power to the other one to help correct in like a skid situation. This is always on unless you press it and hold it down to turn it off. The car has power windows, power locks, power mirrors, so the normal new car stuff over here. Jumping up on the steering wheel again, your Bluetooth controls to answer a call, hang up, use voice command. You can press and hold this until you hear Siri if you have an iPhone, so be aware of that. And you can use this a good amount using Apple Carplay and Android Auto, which I'll get to in a second. The volume controls are pretty sweet in this car. You can drag up and down to do it, and you can tap, so just be aware of that. Plus and minus right here, or I should say up and down, is going to switch between, you know, AM, XM, FM, you know, whatever you got connected up. And then left and right is going to jump between your stations. So just be aware that that's what's going on right now. It's jumping between stations right now. Up in the stack, you'll notice it's a digital display, so I like that. It prevents with glare and things like that. Over here, I'm going to point out something on the blinker stock. Anytime you press the blinker up to the right, it's going to turn on the blind spot indicator camera. And you'll see your hashtags as far as end of your car, car length, and car length. I don't have to turn the blinker on to do this. There's a button right on the tip of the blinker stock you can press, and it'll turn that on and off whenever you want. And you can affect the settings of the car if you don't want it to come on when the blinker comes on. The car does have auto on-off lights, which you'll see I have on right now, and then it does have fog lights too. Jumping over to the other side, it's just intermittent windshield wipers. I don't need to really explain that too much. From the touchscreen, I'll just show you a couple things. As far as Apple CarPlay, once I plug my phone into the USB, which the USB is actually down underneath here, you can see it popped open right there. You'll see this light up, and that'll allow you to either access your Android-based phone or your Apple phone. This will allow you to get to your maps, your music, your messages. I like it because you can plug in, not only be charging your phone, but be able to pull up additional features. You know, you can get to Spotify, some different music apps too. As far as navigation's through Garmin, pretty simple setup. You can use the voice command button that I was talking about earlier to do some of this options if you don't want to do it literally by touching the screen and going that route. So just be aware of that. Other than that, phone is going to be Bluetooth stuff in case you want to go that route. Settings. I'll walk you through quickly. Vehicle settings on the car is probably the most important one on here, other than Bluetooth. If you needed to add a phone to Bluetooth, press the Bluetooth button. You'd push Bluetooth device list, and then add device, and then it'll prompt you to, you know, turn on your Bluetooth and go down that road. Let's go back to the vehicle settings. I'm gonna go to settings and vehicle. So if you wanted to mess with your door locks, your lighting setup, any of that stuff, it's all right here. If you want to set the walkway auto lock system to where when you get outside of 10 feet to lock your car, all going to be right here. So just be aware of that. Some of your door lock settings, the walkway auto lock that I was talking about, security relock timer, stuff like that. So just be aware that these are all here for you. Super simple to get to. If you bought the car already, chances are if it was with me, I walked it through a default setting worksheet and we kind of explained all this stuff. AC unit is right here. You can control your left and your right side separate of each other. Up here, you'll notice I can change those. If I want to get to an actual climate screen, I can do it on the touch screen if I want to adjust any of that stuff there too. The car does have heated seats. You've got controls right here on both sides in 3 different settings. Let me turn those off so I don't heat my butt up. Brake hold. So what this is if I'm in stop and go traffic, this button, if I engage it, I gotta have my seatbelt on for it to work, so I can't do like low speeds if I'm driving around in a parking lot. But when I hit my brake and come to a complete stop, it'll hold the brake even if the car's in drive, so that's how this feature works. Your electronic parking brake, to use it, always gotta have my foot on the brake. I pull up to set it, so it's just like a handbrake. To release it, put my foot on the brake, press down, and it releases it. When you set it, you are gonna see that something will come on, and it's gonna be right up in there, so you can see, if I can focus on it there, that the brake is on. When I turn it off, it's gonna release, and you'll feel the pedal under your foot. Econ button will improve the gas mileage of the car. As it reads on the sticker, the car gets 31 in the city, 40 on the highway. That does not include the econ button. But how this works is, anytime you engage it, it will affect some of the electrical systems in the front end of the car. Things that would affect in the car that you would notice as the driver is the AC unit won't blow quite as hard when you have it on, and your accelerator, if you mash it to the floor, it's not going to take off and go quite as fast. So just be aware of that. Pretty standard stuff here. You know, it's a sliding setup here. I can fold it back. I do have a sliding here. So if I want to go humongous cup from HEB or similar, if you want to go the big gulp style, or if you want to go normal size can, or 20-ounce glass or 16-ounce normal stuff there. Auto dimming mirror. I've got my moonroof that I can release. This is a leathered model since this is an EXL. The stereo system is a little bit higher powered. Outside of that, that's the general rundown of the car. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Be more than happy to go over anything you have questions about. If you have questions about the touchscreen or anything like that, just let me know. Other than that, you can reach me at 512-443-4300 or email me, letter J, my last name Fuller, F-U-L-L-E-R @Howdy Honda, or just respond back to the YouTube video. Have a great day.